Okay, guys, alternate ending. Take 43.
With so many movies on the net and TV, it's kinda hard being up and film savvy. Do you catch a show while you're on the go? And how do you know what to keep or what to throw? How do you know what to keep or what to throw? Tune in, tune in, tune in to alternate ending. Tune in, tune in, tune in to alternate ending. Now! Please give a warm welcome to the hosts of Alternate Ending.
Welcome to Alternating. We're discovering good movies, one bad movie at a time. I'm film school dropout Robert Jarsinski. Across from me is our casual moviegoer Carrie Jarsinski and our very own critic in residence Tim Brayton. With not only Little Women coming out this week, we also had the Sisters Brothers. Sisters Brothers. The Sisters Brothers.
Weekend. 5 times fast.
Yeah. Nope, not going to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, a film by Jacques Audiard, a dark comic western starring Joaquin Phoenix and John C. Reilly, and none of us will get to see it for God knows how long because we live in a town that doesn't get art films.
But two sisters movies giving us sororal rejoicing. Eh?
You looked that word up.
I did. I wanted to say something like fraternal. What's the opposite of fraternal? And is it
sororal?
Is sororal a word?
Well, you're the one who looked it up, so I'll trust you. You just stuck sorority in front of fraternity.
I did. And I've got the red squiggly line under it right now in my Word document. so Word doesn't feel right.
Word doesn't recognize a lot of words, man.
Yes.
Word is trying to hold you
words,
down.
Yeah.
Let's make sororal happen. It's a thing. Sororal rejoicing.
Sororal.
But those are two sister movies, so we're going to be looking at our top 5 sister movies this episode, so pretty excited about that. What else is going on in everybody's lives?
Anyone have anything cool? Anything hip?
I don't.
No. Okay. What about you, Rob?
No. You know.
Wait.
You know my life.
No. I had a salad today. I had a salad
with
for lunch.
With croutons?
No, but it was with tempeh. It was like a vegan salad.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
And then I made up for it tonight by having chicken.
So that actually does lead me down a path of wondering, are you still sticking to the yoga in your undies thing you were doing there a few weeks ago?
I mean, wouldn't you like to know?
You look like you are.
I am. Sometimes I wear pants. Gotta be honest. Sometimes I'm not in my undies.
Have you been doing any sort of digital recording of it?
No.
Okay.
Maybe I have.
Maybe I have. Well, good. That's awesome. Yeah, no, Rob and I have both been leading up to our digital soiree into digital media. Rob warned me about this. So like 12 weeks ago, I was like, Rob, we got to get in shape if like we're going to be out in like the public eye. So for 12 weeks now, I've been on a high water diet, lower beer diet than usual.
Okay.
It's a good ratio.
I'm going to report in. After 12 weeks, I am down 0.7 pounds.
You look
Can you see?
Yeah, I can tell.
Can you see it? Can you see it in my third chin?
In fact, that is exactly where I can
That's
see
right,
it,
yeah.
yes.
So I'm feeling pretty good about myself right now. So that's my high point since we spoke last.
It's been tough watching movies without the booze to go along with it. I know, Tim, you're a purist. You abstain.
I am a fucking temple.
Yeah.
I do not watch films under the influence of... I can't say that because the last time I said that, the one time I actually did see a movie when I was under a certain kind of influence, the person listening to the podcast texted me to complain that I was lying on the podcast. But in general, I consider it to be a disservice to my readers.
I enjoyed a nice beverage. I traveled for work and I managed to catch a movie that I'll be mentioning here in our Worth Mentioning segment. So everybody ready to jump right in?
I suppose.
Yeah. I think we could spend another 5 minutes talking about
stuff we didn't
salad.
do.
What about my diet my diet? It's clearly working.
It had julienne radishes.
Mm-hmm. Did you julienne them?
It was from a very overpriced salad restaurant.
Okay.
So no, they came julienne.
Those are popular right now. Sweet Green.
Yeah.
There's a couple other in the Madison area that have popped up.
This was one of the campus area salad restaurants.
Okay. Very nice.
That's good. Tell us
I think I'd rather
more
talk
about it
movies.
later.
I don't understand. No. Yes.
So we'll jump right into our worth mentioning segment. What is the worth mentioning segment of the movies we've seen since the last episode? They could be great movies. They could be terrible. We share them either way. So yeah, I was traveling for work in Minneapolis, which is home to an Alamo Draft House.
You love those places.
Love the Alamo Draft House.
The Alamo is in Texas.
Do you remember it, though?
Yes,
I
do remember.
You seem to have forgotten the Alamo.
I've forgotten the Alamo. But yes, Alamo Draft House actually originated in the Austin area. high-end food, kind of more communal theater. Is more communal. Like, I mean, you're sitting next to strangers, so I don't know if you can get more communal
I
than
think
that.
that's pretty much what you do in theaters.
But I really, if you have not been in an Alamo Drafthouse, it is where all movie watching should take place. Really great food. Yeah, and I enjoyed myself an aviation gin.
So the check from Alamo Drafthouse just cleared then?
It did.
Because I know we weren't going to talk about it until that happened.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Now we're all set getting our
Great.
sponsorship from them, as well as Aviation Gin, which is I don't know if anybody, if those
Ryan
listening out-
Reynolds.
I just learned
Ryan
about
Reynolds.
Aviation Gin literally maybe 2 hours ago.
Is it because of all of
Because
the
of
product
Rob?
placement?
It
that
is
was
because of
in
the product
movie?
placement, which I actually assumed it was like a fake brand of gin until I read the IMDb trivia for it, and like that was a trivia item, was that it was Ryan Reynolds' brand of gin. Also, how I learned that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are married.
Oh,
Oh
my
my
gosh.
God. Okay, so yeah, you really-
So-
what
so
rock
that's-
are you
that's-
living under?
It's two people
Oh
who are
my
now off the market,
gosh.
and I feel very, very salty about it.
So for those who
Which
don't
one
know,
do you feel more salty about?
I don't. After seeing the movie, probably Blake Lively
Yeah.
in this moment.
so for those who don't know, Tim and I separately in different places. Not Tim did not see it in
No,
the classy Alamo Drafthouse.
I saw it in Madison's own shitty knockoff.
But we
of
watched
Alamo Drafthouse.
we watched A Simple Favor. Care.
I heard.
Yes.
I heard.
Did you catch any movies this week?
You know what I also love about Alamo Drafthouse is when you send me texts that you've really enjoyed a nice cocktail and a nice movie at the quiet of your and peace of mind of being alone. But no, I was alone with the kids, and I decided all week.
Kids like movies.
I know. But so all week I did. This is the first time in 2 years I have missed a worth mentioning movie opportunity.
Make something up.
Oh, sorry. So I saw Hello, My Name is Totoro. My name is Totoro. That movie with the dog.
Oh, Tim's familiar.
Oh yeah.
I want to set you on
So
fire.
here's the- I thought
mad at
about
you.
it.
You see the daggers he's throwing.
I thought
at
it was
your
a
eye.
sister movie, but I thought it was a brother and sister. But then everyone said that's two girls in that movie. So you learn so much. But anyway, yeah. So I didn't. Every night this week, I went to bed at 8:30 in the comfort of our bed with both of our children. So
Well,
Whoa.
I know.
Well,
I was trying to up
appreciate
Rob
you-
in the parenting
I
game.
appreciate you doing that so that I could go and enjoy a nice aviation gin cocktail and watch A Simple Favor.
Keep saying
So the
aviation
check
gin.
from aviation also.
and
cleared.
that'll also
Good,
be
we've
clear.
been waiting on that one for ages.
But Tim and I caught that. It's the latest release by Paul Feig, who's dabbling now into the dramatic, more like murder mystery.
I mean, he's dabbling, kind of.
Dabbling.
I think it's still pretty much a comedy. Like,
Is it a comedy? Tell us about
I think
this.
It's pretty much a comedy.
yeah, it's a dark comedy.
Tell me the plot.
The plot is a woman played by Anna Kendrick seeks to uncover the truth behind the disappearance of her friend. It's basically Gone Girl in a way.
Oh, it's
in a lot of
totally
ways.
Gone Girl.
Yes, it's Gone Girl.
That's the thing.
But you guys didn't
it's
like Gone Girl.
It's a
I like
parody
Gone
of
Girl.
Gone Girl.
You think parody? You go as far
I'm
as
going
saying
with
parody.
parody.
Okay. Is Heathers a parody? I felt like Heathers vibe.
It's not clear to me what Heathers would be a parody of, but it's certainly a comedy.
Okay, so if you feel Heathers is a comedy, then yes, I will spot you that this is in
So
fact
now I know
a
what
comedy.
happens, though, if you told me that it's a parody on...
No.
Well, no.
It's a parody of that genre of like mommy blogger audience, and then the
Martini
protagonist is a
drinking.
mommy blogger, but that sort of like suburban woman crime thriller genre
Yeah.
that gave us like Girl on the Train, Gone Girl. And I think what's interesting is like I've heard very good things about the book Girl on the Train. The movie's terrible. I've heard very terrible things about the book A Simple Favor, and I fucking adored this movie.
You
Really?
I liked it too.
Loved A Simple Favor.
Yeah, I like it.
it.
I think you'd really like it too, particularly.
Why?
for
I think
the-
you would.
Why is
I
that?
think you definitely
It's
would.
the
because you're a middle-aged suburban mom.
That's right, and it's.
Middle-aged.
I
mean,
compared this on Twitter
you're like 42, right?
I started using products last week. Can you tell?
and she's down 0.7 pounds.
And I don't have points.
I compared this to like Bad Moms meets Heathers. So it's
haven't
like
seen
a dark
Heathers,
edge.
so that's hard.
It's like
I haven't
a
seen Bad
dar-
Moms.
It's like a dark Bad Moms.
Okay.
It plays for laughs a lot of the type of mom tropes.
Yeah.
Anna Kendrick is a single mother. Has a really sweet kid. I like that. I like her kid in
the
this.
children
movie.
were delightful.
Do you know who plays her kid? Is it a recognizable
I didn't
kid?
have, no.
No, okay.
I didn't have that handy. But then there's this.
Like 5.
Oh, okay.
She's a Connecticut. I think it's Connecticut.
It's all set in Connecticut,
All set in
bedroom
Connecticut.
community of New York City in Connecticut.
And then
Okay.
all of a sudden, there's this mom who pulls up in a Porsche or whatever, and it's
Yeah.
Blake
Lively wearing like this gorgeous
Suit.
set of androgyny. Like every scene, she's in some new like gender queering beautiful outfit. The costumes in this movie are like A+.
Yes, and
Okay.
I think a lot of that is, from what I understand, is that's Blake Lively's style. Like
All
that's
right,
her,
good
she's
for Blake
bringing
Lively.
all of that.
But
to
not even
himself.
just her costumes. Like, I think also what they've put poor Anna Kendrick in, like that pom-pom dress.
Yes, the little and the sweaters. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's played for a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with this movie. Blake Lively was just. I thought she did a really fantastic job.
I think she's amazing in
Yeah.
this film. Like, legit.
And
If
she
she
hasn't-
were Oscar nominated for this, I'd be like, yes, they got it right.
Really?
I thought she was so
that
good.
great.
I thought Blake Lively was like beyond.
So unlikely friendship evolves from that briefly, and then something happens to Blake Lively.
She disappears.
Blake Lively, she goes missing.
Yeah, and then
But she made herself go missing.
We don't know.
I don't know.
But you said it's like Gone Girl.
It's like the genre of Gone Girl.
Okay.
But Anna
It's
Kendrick
also like the genre of Girl on the Train.
Okay.
is
So maybe
this,
she gets run over by a train.
Anna
That could be it
Kendrick is
too.
this over the top kind of.
She's a
character.
really intense.
That's who she is
like,
in real life too, though. So
different kind of over the top. Like in this case, she's one of those like moms who does everything and wants to be seen as like always has the baked goods, always has
Right.
the fun balloons and
Kinda
shit.
like Rob.
But it's like it's very clearly filling this like complete absence of anything in her life that has meaning.
Yeah.
So it's like this desperation thing rather than a
Does Blake
desire to
Lively
grow
have
up.
kids too?
She
Yes.
has. And that's
Okay.
that's where their
I
two
gotcha.
sons.
Their
are,
children are playmates.
Are playmates, and
Got it.
so it's an unlikely pairing of friendships. Again, she walks out of the car. The storm is blowing, but for some reason, like her hair is perfect. It's
Yeah,
still
yeah.
like in a rainstorm, and everything's.
I know those
invites
moms.
her. Kind of. Blake Lively doesn't want to, but the two kids are friends, so they come over for a play date, and then yes, the friendship starts building from there over the course of a couple days.
Okay.
Maybe weeks until
It's about a month, I think.
Yeah.
I
about
was
a
worried
month.
that the hype of this, I didn't pick it for my top anticipated because it looked like I was going to like it from the trailers, but then I thought maybe based on it, I didn't love Gone Girl from the actual movie. So I thought, or maybe I'm thinking Girl on the Train. I didn't like either of those as much in the movie as the book.
Part of what I
So-
love about this movie is that I feel it looks at Gone Girl, it looks at other movies of that ilk and says, well, these were kind of stupid.
Yeah.
And like
Makes it
amps
better.
amps that up.
Okay.
It's very campy.
Can I tell you the most distracting thing about this movie?
Sure.
It's Henry Golding.
It is Henry Golding.
Is that I think it's I wonder if I hadn't if
Oh,
Crazy
you mean
Rich
like just
Asians
the fact that he's in it.
the fact that he's in it I wonder if Crazy Rich Asians hadn't happened if that would be less of a problem for me, but he is very distracting for me in this
That's
in this
fair.
movie.
I was not distracted largely because I was so delighted by what was going on.
Okay.
I mean, like I was not super invested in the mystery because I was enjoying it on the level of like satire.
Yeah, it is funny.
It's funny too.
It's funny.
Anna Kendrick, I think,
I
is
like
actually
dark
hilarious
humor,
too.
but then it has the Anna Kendrick humor wrapped in
that
there
like
as well, too.
punchy.
It's like it's very
Yeah.
Anna Kendrick-y. If you're
Yeah.
an Anna Kendrick fan, it is not her playing against type. Like she is absolutely playing the Anna Kendrick.
Okay.
And then yeah, Blake Lively is just awesome.
I gotta see
Just
this.
really good.
I gotta see
Yeah.
this.
You gotta see it.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
think you would like
I will.
it quite a
Bet
bit.
anything it's better than Life itself.
Based on the reviews that are
Based
coming
on
out,
the reviews,
you're probably
losing
right.
my other testicle to cancer is going to be better than Life itself.
And Blake
extreme.
Lively will make you feel good about drinking again care while watching movies or not. So
How badly did you want a martini while you were
I
watching
was
that
drinking
film?
gin while
I
watching
was
the
drinking
movie.
iced tea
So I
and
felt
feeling
right at home.
real bad about myself.
I actually order martinis sometimes, but I really just like the olives. I'm not really a hard liquor person.
Oh no, these were classy European martinis. They don't even have all
Oh.
of they have lemon.
interesting.
Well, Tim, I know you're planning on getting a review of that, maybe even by the time
By the time this episode goes live,
airs.
it will have been written.
You can find more details about this movie and all the movies we've watched at our website, alternateending.com. That's alternateending.com. Before we head to our break, you might be wondering about ways to support the show. Get early access and exclusive content, make us watch a movie, pick your own episode topic, and more from our Patreon site.
And speaking of exclusive content, we're getting pretty close to previewing our video content, yes?
That's right. We just shared, we sourced it out to a couple video editors. We wanted to make sure,
I would love to say that I could do the editing, but
We know
busy.
it would be the
I
best if you were.
Early thoughts, Tim? I'll let you be the judge of some of the rough assembly cuts that
I'm
we've seen.
excited. I think that, clearly there's going to be a learning curve. Like, I think there's some stuff we need to fix about it. So, don't get too excited for it. But I think
Rough drafts.
It's a real good rough draft.
I think maybe even by the time this podcast airs, we hope that maybe a cut of that it'll be for a movie that's a little bit not out of theaters. It probably should be by now. The Predator. So it'll be not timely, but it's going to give everybody a little bit of a taste.
I hadn't
of
lost my
things to come.
0.7 pounds either when we recorded that.
You were only at like 0.3 at that point.
And I was retaining water that day too.
So the camera adds 10, so you're at like a 9.
I know. And
9.3.
here's the other thing I told Rob. If Tim was there, you would have done this for me. I was like, Rob, make the camera at an angle where you can only see the one chin. And Rob didn't do that at all.
Yeah, that's one of the things that
we're
in the future, we're going to try to have a little bit more sophisticated cinematography.
Okay.
And by sophisticated, I mean not Rob just setting up the camera.
I think that's an excellent idea.
Well, I also want to thank our listeners who support the show and make their Amazon purchases through our site. Doing it is easy. Just go to our website, alternateending.com. Click on our Amazon banner and seamlessly go about your purchases. All proceeds go to making our show better. Since our last episode, here were the things that were purchased. Well, bath and beauty products, trying to make yourself smell good.
This could be me.
It's in the 8-ounce bottle. Works Fine Fragrance Miss Magic in the Air. I think that's for like poops.
Oh.
Yeah. Is that for you, Karen?
It's not for me. I just like to let them ride.
Also, some Magic in the Air cream lotion to go along with that. So after your poop, you just rub a little
How does
cream.
that
Rub
work?
it right up there on your butthole.
Maybe on the walls. Maybe you like rub it on the walls.
Sure.
Maybe.
It's the full size.
Remember that time I lit the candle at your friend's house, like on our first date?
Yeah.
I just straight up, when I have someone in my house, I just light the candle before they get there.
Yeah.
Just remove all awkwardness.
But like,
except then the awkwardness is like, I'm expecting you to poop.
I mean,
right.
What was interesting,
I know
Kara,
you're
is like,
going
you went into the bathroom.
Yeah.
You came out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
When you went in, the candle wasn't lit. When you came out, the candle. So what do you like? I mean, it's clear what happened in there, right? You're not leaving much of the imagination.
Girls like candles.
So you should have taken it as
they
flattery.
just can't help themselves.
You should have taken it as flattery because I only have to poo when I'm nervous.
See, you should.
So it shows that I was
This was your
nervous.
first date, did you say?
It was pretty early on.
It was pretty early on. Yeah. It was like a group outing.
See, had you done my method of going through the person's drawers and looking for mouthwash and pouring it in the toilet,
that would have been better.
That works.
Yeah.
Does that work?
That works.
It doesn't work.
It
no.
absolutely works.
Rob thinks it does.
What if it's like Listerine? What if it's one of those mouthwashes that already kind of smells like poop?
I guess double trouble then. Also had a gift card purchase, Amazon.com gift card, and a birthday cupcake tin. So happy birthday to whoever's going to be receiving that one. Seat cushion and lumbar support for a car, office, computer, chair. You can take it anywhere. It's the memory foam.
Transportable.
Anywhere
variety.
you got your lumbars.
Yeah.
You need
Get
lumbar.
your tailbone, your coccyx, and your sciatic.
Sciatic nerve.
I said coccyx.
You did say Cossacks.
Yes, I think I said it correctly.
I think you did too, except for, I mean, like, I think you did, but like, I'm hearing Cossacks like the Siberian Raider.
It's a tough word, Coccyx, and I nailed it.
I think you did.
Amazon Instant Video. This is an interesting one. Actually, before we get there, Pet Supplies Lucky Champ Litter Champ refill liner.
I have one of those. They're these really wonderful. They're like those diaper buckets that you put shitty diapers in, but it's for cat litter.
It's for cats.
Okay.
Like Diaper Genie.
Yeah.
Diaper Genie for cats.
A little diaper genie for cats, and it's like, they're good things.
Amazon Instant Video.
I do.
Have not thought about this movie since I saw it in theaters.
All right, give it to us.
Enough.
I've never heard of it.
Huh? Tim?
Enough said. The Nicole Holof Center film.
I'm assuming this is the Jennifer Lopez. Enough.
Oh, enough. Enough.
Have you thought about this movie?
I haven't thought about this movie since it was in theaters,
Yes.
let alone since it's left theaters.
I'd be interested to know, like, you're going through the Amazons and you're like,
Enough.
yeah, I'll go with it. It's pretty empowering, not empowering.
I think empowering is probably exactly what it is.
Yes. DVD. Got the Friday the 13th, the series.
Leading up to Halloween.
I watched
nice
this
choice.
series. I used to watch this. This was creepy.
The series is like it's not like about Jason, right? It's like
No,
about
it's
haunted
been
antique
like
shops or something.
Yeah, there's like every episode has a unique kind of like something that happens. Yeah, I think a lot of it is, it's a little bit like, what was the HBO?
Twilight Zone.
Well, it's Twilight Zone. The skeleton
Psych.
guy.
Tales from the Crypt.
Tales from the Crypt.
Tales from the
Like
Crypt.
The skeleton guy.
So well, you
He
know
has
where
a
I was
name.
going. I know.
Rob, and that name is Crypt Keeper.
Yes, you're right. It is the Crypt Keeper. DVD, we also had Amor de Mis Amores.
Should have worked on that one.
Amor de Mes Amor.
Yes, I just say it really fast like that. What's that?
I assume it's the love of my loves.
It is. It is that.
Is that
Do you know what
French?
that is?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
It's I mean, I don't know from the way you mangled it whether it's French or Spanish, but it's probably one of them.
Also had an Amazon free movie trial purchased as well.
Thank you.
So yeah, we appreciate all of those purchases. When we get back, our top 5 sister movies. Welcome back to Alternating. We're talking about our top 5 sister movies. Carrie, you're in a unique position because out of the 3 of us, you're the only one who is actually a sister.
Thank you for calling that out, Rob.
So you have some experience.
I do have a
with
sister.
this one. Are you going to do well with these picks?
I think so.
Okay.
Based on my historical knowledge of what it means to be a sister.
Yeah, what does it mean to be a sister? And what does it mean to be a top 5 sister movie to you?
It's actually, at first I was like, oh, this is really uncomplicated. And then when I started thinking about it, I'm like, it's not. This is very complicated because you can't just be any like sister. To be sisters, it's not, oh, here's a nuance.
Right, you have to be ordained in the Catholic Church. You have to be in a convent.
Right.
You have to wear those ugly ass things, those like penguin.
You both, as only
moves.
children, are also in a unique position. Is this because I'm curious how you would even deal with like the sibling aspect here. But in my case, you can't choose. These are sisters. It's not a sister of a brother, right?
It's so
I deliberately left that super unclear when I wrote the copy for this week's episode.
Didn't.
For what it's worth, Carrie, I'm with you.
Okay.
I only have sisters of sisters.
Sisters of sisters. Okay.
Some of these sisters of sisters have a brother like hanging out somewhere.
Okay.
But
they could have a bro, but you have to have
there have to be
a sister of sister.
2 girl children of the same
sister,
parents,
but not
or at least of a
Tia and Tamara.
So all of mine, except for one, is that because the one in particular, just a really awesome sister. And I just had to have her on
Oh,
here.
geez, Rob. You can't do it for that reason.
I'm sorry.
So
That's just
this,
my criteria.
For me, though,
I was
includes
okay.
adopted siblings or brothers that identify as sisters.
Sure.
Okay?
I would count that if I could think of an example.
I don't have one on there, but I just thought I'd throw it out there.
You're just making sure.
You want woke points, even though you didn't actually do any of the labor to get woke points.
What's a woe point?
Woke.
What's a woke point?
Woke is internet slang for when you have correct liberal politics about identity.
Yeah, I want some woke points. That's what I'm going for then. I didn't realize it, but that's exactly what I want. But here's the other thing. Doesn't count if you're like a sister, like a nun. You got to be like a sister.
Ooh.
Okay?
Ooh.
So familial,
Okay.
See, when I
familial or
said sisters
adoptive?
of sisters, I meant they're in the same convent.
Okay.
Familial or adoptive?
Familiar or adoptive, and you get extra points the grittier the sister you are. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean.
Grittier.
What are you talking about?
I want you to
Like-
be the kind of sister that's going to be like,
Are
hey,
these all like murder mysteries?
maybe. Yeah, I want you to be the kind of sister that's like, if you're picking on my little sister or my big sister, I'm going to shiv you.
Okay.
So
that
those
kind
are
of
the kind
Okay,
of
that kind of
movies?
great. I follow you.
Yeah, and then it's ranked based on love of the movie and level of sister sacrifice. And if the sister would like maybe like die for the other sister, kicks you to the top,
All right.
which is what I would do for my sister,
That's
you know?
intense. That's
Is
intense.
it intense?
Carrie. Yeah.
I feel that
That's
way
what makes
about
a
my
sister movie for you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Tim.
I mean, I'm following the same basic rule. Like, they have to be 2 sisters. I don't have any adopted siblings. I don't have any trans siblings.
You're not a wove?
No. What?
A woke?
She was trying to do the woke.
Woke, sorry, woke.
As in to be awake.
Oh, uh-huh.
So anyway, so I don't have any of that because I'm not woke. But I'm just thrown by
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I tried to pick different types of sisters. Like, I kind of feel like I've hit 5 different ways that sisters can relate to each other. So I'll flag that with each individual article. As for ranking, it's kind of piecemeal, but it's vaguely in order of how much the film is about sisterhood. So like films in which
Had to be
sisters are
central.
present, but it's
Okay.
not necessarily about the sisters, that costed points.
Yep, I'm with you, Tim. Ranked by sisterhood. The more I felt where the movie was focused on the relationship between the sisters and did a great job showcasing what sisterhood means. Obviously, not being a sister, not really, it's coming from a very subjective.
You have sister-in-law.
I do have a sister-in-law, so I know what that's all about.
You should introduce your sister-in-law to Carrie's sister and see if they hit it off.
They're the same person.
But as I mentioned, I do have.
Oh, I just got that.
I do have one on the list that is just an awesome sister that I just wanted to have on the list because who knows if we'll ever just do top 5 sisters. We might.
Well, technically, the name of this episode was Top 5 Sisters.
Yeah.
But you had to be a sister for all of us, right?
That's right. So you'll understand when I get there. And then I feel like I have one that escaped our audience's mind. I'm curious if it's. I don't think it'll be on Tim's list just
it's
because
on mine.
Snobby. But
oh yeah,
I would be
it's on mine.
That is a very accurate.
Put a pin in it. It's my number 3.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see about that. Let's start with your number 5. Then we'll see if we get to your number.
And when
3
I get through the list of where my sister and I have the same relationship as this movie, I'll call it out.
Yeah, point it out.
I will. I love my sister. So
she doesn't listen to this.
I know she doesn't listen. She's actually very annoying. No, I'm just kidding. So anyway, the first movie that I'm going to go with is one that neither of you thought about, but it's double down on the sisterhood, is the 2007 Knocked Up. Eh?
I don't recall there being a sister in it.
So,
I mean, I take your word
multiple
for it.
sisters. So, this is written and directed by Judd Apatow. This has Seth Rogen, Katherine Heigl, Paul Rudd, and Leslie Mann. Leslie Mann and Katherine Heigl are both sisters.
Oh.
Okay? And so, here's the piece de resistance. I don't know if that's actually the right usage of that phrase, but it also has Iris and Maude Apatow, who are the daughters of Leslie Mann in that movie, who are real life
The
sisters.
daughters of Leslie Mann.
But in real life, they're sisters.
In real life, they're also Leslie Mann's daughters.
Yeah, exactly.
You did use piece de resistance if that's what you're going for, like the apex of the you got
thing.
It.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so in this movie, gosh, that's his wife.
That's his wife.
Interesting. So
have you seen the other one?
Like every other Judd Apatow movie.
That's right.
And there's that This Is 40 where she plays the same character with the same daughters, played by the same daughters.
Absolutely. So in this one, Katherine Heigl goes out to this bar, gets a little bit drunko, and goes off, and she has this sort of like physical interaction with Seth Rogen.
Who is not her sister.
Exactly. What?
I'm just saying, you're talking about the film.
Oh, yes,
plot,
yes, the
the
plot.
sisters.
But 8 weeks later, she shows up and she basically is like, oh, you're the dad. And it's sort of a one-night stand situation. Then there's the relationship of Leslie Mann and Katherine Heigl, and they come together. Leslie Mann's this foul-mouthed, exhausted mom who's like, I'm going to tell my sister exactly how it is. Like, this guy's a loser. Get rid of him. Like, she's the sister that everybody needs. It's just going to tell you exactly what it is without any fakeness, without any facade. And then on top of it, it doubles down with the Iris and Maude, sweetest, cutest little sister duo in that movie as well. And that's why it made my list.
All right.
Nice.
I think you guys are going to be excited about that
I
one.
like Tim forgot
that movie has cooled off for me a lot.
Yeah.
I got to be honest.
And
But you enjoyed it when you saw it.
when I think about it, I don't
11
think
years
about
ago.
the sister relationship.
You think about the Paul Rudd poop situation?
I forgot about that as well. Yeah, I just like
Really?
nothing lasting about that. I remember it being funny. I
was
remember
funny.
enjoying it, but yeah, I don't remember the sister relationship standing out.
Oh, yeah. They were that's the kind of sister that you
I remember
want
she
right
took her out to the bar and
Yeah,
kinda got
her drunk,
Yeah, got her
whatever.
drunk
That's
and
who
got
you
her.
need.
Basically, it's really her fault
It is.
for the unplanned pregnancy.
That's the job of every sister, is to have you bear a child.
All right.
And to your number 5, Tim.
So my number 5 is very ironic, given where this conversation has gone so far today. What did you call it? Call Me Totoro?
Oh, yeah. But that's a bro.
No, that's my neighbor.
Right.
My Neighbor Totoro, 1988, Miyazaki Hayao, Japanese animator of tremendous importance. It is a film about two sisters. It is not a film about a sister and a brother.
Did you, when you watched it, think it was a brother, though?
I did not.
Did you, Rob?
I honestly can't remember.
In
When
the
they were in the
English
bathtub,
dub, they're
you thought it
voiced
was-
by the Fannings.
I don't think I listened with volume.
Okay.
I don't know.
So these sisters are Satsuki and Mei, who are two young girls, I believe 7 and 4, I might have those ages wrong, who have had to move to the country because their mother is very, very ill and had to go to a hospital out in the country. So they and their father are living in this sort of sprawling old house right on the edge of a woods. And Satsuki, the older sister, keeps seeing little weird creatures moving around. So she follows one of them into the woods and finds a large gray oval-shaped creature who is adorable called a Totoro. And if you haven't seen this movie, it is the most precious, dear, sweet thing you will ever see filmed. The sister relationship involved is really just this very tender, affectionate depiction of like child sisterhood. I feel kind of the way you feel about the Apatow sisters is kind of maybe what I'm going with this selection. There's a definite like, there's the little tiny kid sister, and then there's the one who's like sees herself as the grown up because someone has to be in that family situation. So she takes on a lot more than she's ready for. So there's kind of this like very pronounced age difference, even though there's only like 3 or 4 years of actual age difference between them. Just very, very sweet, loving depiction of that family relationship. What happens with the
mom? Does she make it?
She lives.
Oh, good.
It's a very sweet, generous, loving movie. It has very few harsh edges, if indeed any.
We saw it on a play date with one of Abby's friends, and Rob and I were both caught off guard because
by how good it was.
I wasn't anticipating it.
If I need to set you on fire again.
when they got to the dad bathing with the kids, Rob and I were doing one of those things where
it's a cultural distinction that is not weird in Japan.
It's totally fine.
To be fair, I have bathed with the kids.
Rob does it with the kids, but he wears his Hawaiian
sick fucker.
He wears his Hawaiian
You're not Japanese.
Which makes it even weirder.
More recently, I've been wearing as they've become older.
What about the scene, which has nothing to do with sisters? What about the scene when the Totoro is standing in the rain and it has a leaf for a hat because it doesn't want to get wet, but the leaf only covers a tiny part of its body?
I can't remember. Does the little brother see the Totoro too?
There isn't a little brother. The younger sibling is the one more obviously coded as a girl. She has pigtails.
Did she see the Totoro
she
too?
Does
they both
see the
do.
Totoro,
Okay.
But the Totoro exists.
Can the dad see the Totoro?
The Totoro hides itself from the dad.
Okay.
It's been a little while.
So it's not a figment of their imagination.
No, the Totoro exists.
Okay. We should watch it again.
Well, they just played it at our local theater. I think they had a run of...
Yeah, they had a Miyazaki thing at our local theater.
We'll catch it again.
We probably should give it another shot.
We
were caught off guard.
Should.
We were expecting Barney, and
you got the most soft, loving, gentle, wonderful children's movie ever
We'll
made.
try it again.
You should.
I gotta say, my picks all very high.
Assholes.
My picks very high on all of my picks are above 78% on the old Rotten Tomatoes.
We care about that.
You know that my first pick is one of the most highly regarded films ever made.
You set the bar high with your number 5. Kier, I feel good about.
The reason it's my number 5, by the way, has nothing to do with the quality of the film and more that it's not about the sisters.
Sure,
it's about the children and the Totoros.
Yeah, I'm it's gonna be a tough follow up to that. I'm going with something. I had trouble filling my number 5. I feel strong about my 4 through 1.
Oh, I had a hard time cutting mine down to 5.
Really?
I had like 9 really good films.
And I saw some of the audience picks. I think there's a lot of movies.
Do you
about
just not like
sisterhood.
movies about women?
Yeah, well, just women and their sisters.
Okay,
yeah,
sure.
I don't care.
You only like women as an adjunct to a man's story. Okay.
Now, if 2 sisters are having consummating some relationships with 2 dudes on camera at the same time,
do you have one like that?
Then I'm all in. No, I don't have anything like
that.
But this one is probably the closest to that.
So was Tim.
So yeah, I had trouble with my number 5. I had 10 Things I Hate About You in there, which would have been probably more aligned with kind of Carrie's choice with Knocked Up.
Insofar as no one remembers that sisters are involved.
That sisters were like. So I went a different route. I wanted to go with a movie that maybe doesn't have as much notoriety to it. This is a very small budget movie that Carrie and I caught a couple of years back called Your Sister's Sister.
Oh sure.
Oh yeah, with the girl with the brown hair.
There are girls with brown hair.
Yep.
The sisters that we're discussing here are half-sisters, Emily Blunt and Rosemary DeWitt. Yes, that's right. Also starring Mark Duplass, directed by Lynn Shelton, who brought us Laggies and Hump Day. I mean, the reason why it's lower on my list is, yes, Your Sisters twice in the title, but really the movie centers around Mark Duplass's character. He's friends with Emily Blunt's character, Iris, after Mark Duplass's character's brother dies unexpectedly. He's dealing with some depression. And Emily Blunt's character invites him, hey, why don't you go get your head clear at my kind of isolated family getaway? And he goes and hangs out there for a while. And then unbeknownst to anyone, the half-sister shows up thinking that it's vacant, and they hit it off. And sleep together
Forgot
Which
about
causes
that.
complications because Emily Blunt was actually interested in Mark Duplass.
Oh, no, good.
Yes, and she comes over a little bit later
Happened
on.
to my sister and I all the time.
And yeah, but it does
Mark Duplass
focus.
just showed up and you both fought over.
yeah.
It's not so much fighting over, but they do dive into the sisterhood of the two characters being half sisters, and kind of the challenges that they had with their mutual parent there. I really enjoyed this movie. I'm trying to throw a little bit of a shine on it because I think it's a good movie. You
It
can
was
find it on
okay.
Amazon.
It's
I
not
remember
something that I
enjoying it.
would pay for, but it was one that when we actually caught it for free, I was like, oh,
It's a slow plodding
this is
movie.
it was fine for free. It was good.
I think I like Lynn Shelton's direct
My Sister's
direction.
Sister? What was it called
Your
again?
Sister's Sister.
Your Sister's Sister. Yeah, I remembered that one too. And then all of my other ones were better than that, so I skipped over it.
That seems
All right.
about right.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we'll see. What's your
I
number
genuinely don't have a single not masterpiece level film on my list, by the way.
Yeah, me either. So and that's what takes me. It's a good segue into my number 4.
All right.
Speaking of masterpieces, so this masterpiece from 1996 brings us the Sanderson Sisters. On anyone's list?
1996, did you say?
1996, yeah.
1993.
I don't think so.
Well, it better be 1993 because I'm planning a 25th anniversary review of it later on.
Really?
Yes, go for it.
You would never love this movie.
I don't love this movie, but I'm still planning on doing a review of it.
So from 1993 to 6, the Sanderson Sisters, there's no doubt in my mind that Winifred, played by Bette Midler, would suck the soul out of anybody for Sarah and Mary Sanderson.
Concurred.
It's 93.
I'm doing literally a 25th anniversary review of it Halloween Day.
Who's the
Spoiler
casual
alert.
moviegoer here? I feel
Name it. We
confident
haven't
in
named it.
1996. I think they actually were producing it for several years. But anyway, so after 3...
It came out in August of 1993 because I thought about reviewing it for its actual 25th anniversary.
Yeah.
But then I thought, well, no, it's a Halloween movie, so I better do it on Halloween.
Yeah.
Maybe
I can
maybe
see
it was
that.
July.
Maybe.
It was a
Maybe
summer
you should
month
learn your facts
in
before you come
1993.
here. So
The name of the movie.
the movie
The
is
Sanderson Sisters. We already discussed that.
Hocus Pocus.
Yep.
Try to smoke us. So this is directed by Kenny Ortega.
Sure is.
Right. Thanks, Tim. Tell me if this is right too. Written by David Kirshner.
Don't know about that, but it sounds like something he would have written.
It feels like it is too. This has all the greats: Sarah Jessica Parker, Bette Midler, Kathy Najimy.
Kathy Najimy, who is legitimately one of the greats.
No, I know.
I think
she's
she's really an undervalued
fantastic.
comic
She
actress.
hasn't been in as much stuff.
She
though.
hasn't.
And I don't know why.
I think part of it literally is that she lost a lot of weight, and so she couldn't do the like roly-poly goofy character
Really?
as well because she's skinnier now, which is
Oh,
like fucking horrible.
That's
but-
everybody's mistake, and now I'm feeling bad about the 0.7 pounds. I'm going to put it back
I know.
on.
I think we need to like call up Kathy and Jimmy's people and see if we can replace you.
I agree. I'm going to start eating and drinking more now. Right now. Rob, go fill me up. So after...
Kathy Najimy confused with the big fat Greek wedding.
Different person.
No, I know.
I can
I'm just
see
saying,
that.
I get.
If
I
you
get
took
confused.
Kathy Najimy and just bashed her on the head until she lost every ounce of talent, I can see where you come
Oh, that's the worst thing you could say. She's so
Nia
good.
Vardalos is
Fantastic.
bad.
No. So let me tell you more about Hocus
She's
Pocus.
good in the Greek movie. She's
That's
terrible in
hurtful.
that Valentine's movie. That's just
That could be true.
misery.
That could be true. You need John Corbett to make you fantastic.
John Corbett, but we've gone far enough.
I digress. So, after 3 centuries, 3 witch sisters are resurrected in Salem, Massachusetts on Halloween night, and it's up to 2 teenagers and a young girl and an immortal cat to put an end to the witch's reign of terror.
About the cat.
There's the cat. The cat is key.
The cat is key.
It's
Now
a
that
black
you're talking
cat.
about the cat.
Yeah. The cat's like really a person, you know?
Spoiler
I
alert.
know. But they have to put an end to them. These sisters are... This is the sisters that I want. Like, my sister isn't one of these sisters, but this is
hopes?
the... What's that?
What hopes?
In this, I don't know which sister I would be in this. Probably Kathy. But yeah, this just like chummy group. I love this movie. And you love it too.
I don't think I've seen it.
You're fucking kidding.
what?
I don't think I've seen it.
You are not of an age where you have the right to have not seen
No, this is
movie.
I
No,
should have
this
seen
is
it.
one you saw Now and
93.
Then?
I absolutely should have seen this movie. I don't know why I can't.
I don't know
I
either.
can't think of anything.
The
I
Sanderson
can't either.
sisters are top notch.
Okay.
And should have made all
Is
of
this a
your
movie
lists.
that this Halloween we can show the
Yes. Can we?
Oh,
The Frankenstein's friendly.
It's a Disney film.
Okay.
It's meant for a family audience.
No, I think we're fine. Is there a sexual thing?
The word virgin shows up, which was kind of a small controversy because it's a Disney family
I don't think
film.
my kids know that word.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
they'll learn it. The other thing about it that I think is kind of cool and un-Disney, the witches are not softened at any point. Like, they are the villains from the start of the movie to the finish. There's no like moment where their hearts melt and they become better people. No turn. Which is also, I guess, a spoiler alert, but I don't really think so. It's a big one.
So good. We'll watch it this Halloween.
I'm with you. No, I
watch it in time to comment on the review that will show up on your site, where
Okay.
I know for a fact you never read the reviews.
I do not read.
I'll read this one.
Thank you.
So number 4 to you, Tim.
Number 4 to me. So I did child sisters, and I'm going to do adult sisters.
All
and
right.
of course, there's some differences here. You know, adult
Were
sisters.
there never such amazing sisters?
One could say that.
Okay.
If one would like to make a reference to another piece of pop media than the one that is on my list.
Okay.
This is 1986's Hannah and Her Sisters.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. I saw this on the site.
Hannah, the sister, is played by Mia Farrow. Her other sisters are Barbara Hershey as Lee and Diane Wiest in an Oscar-winning performance as Holly. This is, I think, a very, very strong candidate for the best film of Woody Allen's career as writer and director and co-star. The film, basically, Hannah is the character sort of around whom a nexus of other character relationships revolve. And by and large, the story takes place in sort of 3 subplots that are kind of broken out into like an anthology thing, but it's really they're sort of interweaving, where each one of the sisters finds herself at the center of some kind of crisis, and their lives like change over the course of I think a year. I think it's a year long. It's been ages since I've seen this film. Their lives change for good and for worse, and at the end they sort of regroup and are like, okay, well, you know, we're all sisters. We survived this set of experience, and it's this interesting depiction of like when you're an adult with siblings. I assume I have none. You're present in each other's lives, but you don't have the luxury like when you're a teenage sister of really like being there constantly, because you've got your own shit. Like you've got a job and you've got your own family and you've got all sorts of other things going on.
Assuming it's the same family, but yeah.
Yeah. So they check in with each other, but they're not like support group for each other as such, only in brief moments, which I think is a really interesting way to kind of structure the film. Like it's very much structured around the idea of the sisters' relationships.
Sure.
Really great acting. Besides Diane Wiest, Michael Caine also won the Oscar for his performance. This was the Oscar that he could not accept because he was busy shooting Jaws 4. Just a superb...
So what's the conflict, though?
Just various small-scale romantic and professional conflicts.
Okay.
It's very much a film that doesn't have like a single plot arcing through it. It's just kind of like stuff happens to these sisters over the course of their lives.
It's a great cast.
It's such a good cast.
Carrie Fisher's in here. Max von Sydow.
Max von Sydow has my favorite single line in a Woody Allen screenplay in this film. Which
I've not seen
if Jesus could come forward in time and see what people were doing in his name, he'd never stop throwing up. Good line from this movie.
That's a good.
I can tell that neither one of you
line.
think that it's nearly as good. It's a
I think I need it in context. Yeah.
It's really
in
funny.
context. Yeah.
No, I feel like I need to catch up with this because while you were watching that in 1986, I was busy watching my number 4, which introduces my favorite sister, probably one of my favorite sisters that she needed to be on this list. I'm talking about Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Jennifer Grey.
That's a bro.
Right. I understand, but she's in that movie.
Can I first compliment you on the unbelievable grace of that transition? I didn't want to compliment you until you'd finished it.
Thank you.
Because then it would have ruined the transition. But oh my God, I got chills.
Oh, good. We're finally getting there. I'm finally becoming
only
a
a couple
podcaster.
years.
I like
You finally did something that didn't suck. I can't even understand it.
But this one has Jennifer Grey as Ferris Bueller's sister, and for what is to me a great movie already, so many great pieces to it. What stands out to me when I think about Ferris Bueller is that damn sister.
All right.
She was awesome.
You might be the only one for whom that's true, but I'm glad
You don't the sister, the annoying wants
that's
to
not what
catch her
stands
brother.
out for me.
No.
I forgot she. Yeah, but isn't she? So to me, a sister's got to be your confidant. She's got to be the one again that's going to go and like rip somebody's eyeball out for you.
So
She's
I think
not gonna
there
do
are
that.
different ways that sisterhood can occur.
I think I've heard some of your
I think I
stories
know
with your
about-
sister of slipping notes under doors after like some conflict has ensued. Like sisters aren't
Conflict for my
sisterhood
sister and I were
isn't
like
always positive.
I took your belt. It wasn't like Oh,
Yeah,
the stuff
apparently
that-
you stole Mark Duplass from your sister. I
That's-
beg your pardon.
Yeah, you can see what kind of
She didn't
relationship
want him.
I would have had with my sibling had I had one. But yes, it would have been stealing boyfriends or girlfriends, and it would have been like, trying to get the other one in trouble. And I think that is a very true reflection
of brother-sister relationships.
No, oh, come on.
Most of my sister-sister relationships are not like
just
that.
pure and happy and butterflies.
You are
and
aware that we do
rainbows.
have a sort of social script for sisters. I feel like we associate sisters as being much more competitive than we associate brothers. Like brothers at the end of the day are still going to bro out.
I agree.
I think
brother,
sisters
brother.
could
I
hate each
think
other for like 10 years.
Sister brother is a different level too. Like sister brother turns to this like nasty.
What gets sexualized? There's always that fraught tension, will they or won't they?
This is such a good thing that you didn't have any siblings. 'Cause that's not the sense I was getting. But what were we talking
Can we
about?
cut that part out? I don't know if I feel good about having said
As far
that.
as because sibling rivalries, if there is such a thing, this movie does a great job talking about sibling rivalries and having your sibling be an adversary.
I definitely think her like perpetual outrage over Ferris getting away with shit and like being the center of attention, even though he has no redeeming characteristics, is a really great little character
I agree.
note.
It's become like a mental thing that she can't. She just has to show the world who he truly is, and she can't rest until it happens. And she's dedicated to that, and that dedication for me really stood out in the movie. Her obsession with trying to prove that he's not this perfect kid. She is a top sister. Top sister?
I like it. I
Yeah?
called the episode
Okay.
Top 5 Sisters, not
Yes.
Top 5 Sister Movies.
That's right. All right.
All right. So this next one brings me to probably what is the relationship that I have with my sister, only flipped. So I have an older sister, if I didn't mention that, 3 years older than I, and we're very different in many ways. But this one probably depicts our relationship the most.
Would you say your sister? You're more type B, BC. I don't know if there's a C.
You hope there's a C.
And your sister's more type A.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you are different. Very different.
My sister's a super nerd. Yeah.
Okay.
Growing up, she was the super nerd, and I was just a nerd. She was like a different level of nerd.
She was a smart
seems
nerd.
like
She was a
you're
smart
cutting-
nerd.
Yeah.
She was a smart nerd.
Intellectual nerd.
Right, and I was
Yes,
just
you were just a social
on the
outcast.
nerd. Exactly. But the weird thing about our relationship was that like I knew she was a super nerd, but yet when anybody would say anything about her, like I could pick at her all day and I could be like, listen to
totally.
her. Yeah. But when anybody else would say anything about her, I'd be like, I had this whole list, this pre-planned list. I'm like, she's got a 4.0, dick. Like, oh, she's way
She's got a
smarter than you
4.0
are.
dick?
No.
Is this why you were willing to put... Yeah. I'm not going to finish that joke.
No, but she
Delete
was,
that part for real.
She was so smart, and like I would have I had her whole resume built out. So if anyone said anything, I was like, I could fire back like immediately with like her whole resume of stuff. And so, that's what brings me to my number 3 and why.
Okay, we're doing a list of movies. I forgot.
That's right. Not just about my sister. She's less nerdy now as an adult. But so this is from 2012. Anyone have this one on there?
No. I thought I knew
Unless
where
you
you were
have
going.
the date wrong again.
It's possible. It's entirely possible. And this one's written and directed by Gary Ross. And unless...
Oh,
Yeah?
out of the box. I like it.
Out of the box.
You're thinking a little bit outside of the box here.
I don't know if this is exactly in the box
Pleasantville?
for me.
I don't know what Gary Ross.
So, set in a dystopian future, the nation is divided into 12 districts and is controlled by the capital.
It took you way too long for
Yeah,
that
it
to
did.
start ringing
This
bells.
is like
Rob.
what's Name That Tune, only for movies. So each year, 2 of the young from each district get picked to participate and fight to the death in a competition, and it's broadcasted to the capital. But when Katniss Everdeen comes in and her little sister Primrose Everdeen, gets picked, Katniss stands up, the older sister, and says, I'm like not going to take that shit. I'm going to volunteer as tribute.
And that extremely classic movie clip, I'm not going to take this shit.
Yeah, she says that. And in this case, I am Katniss. My sister is my older sister
We
is
technically
probably
haven't
Prim.
named this film yet.
It is the Hunger Games movie.
Okay.
And I would totally do this. Like if my sister would die immediately, so I would have to
Die immediately instead.
volunteer.
Because you're
No.
very resourceful,
I am resourceful. I can be very aggressive on the fly.
not clumsy.
I'm a little clumsy.
Who at this table would live longest in a Hunger Games scenario?
Oh gosh, Rob's kind of like, I don't know. Rob's sneaky,
I'm manipulative.
Yeah.
So I might, be like befriend someone.
I assume that you would just.
I would die first.
No,
Take them
I
out.
think you would dig a hole.
I
and just
get
crawl
winded.
into it.
You can't dig a hole when people are like grabbing hatchets right next to you. That's the thing. Like
Cover yourself with some leaves.
I don't run fast enough to get away from the cornucopia before I would get killed.
Oh,
I'd be one of those fuckers. I'd be one of the ones
You would've
when she
drowned.
talks about like how she saw 12 people die in the first like 4 seconds. I would have been one of those 12.
Yeah, you would have just drowned trying to get off the island.
Yes.
Yeah, Rob would have been the one that tried to get both
The
sides on his
the
side.
Weasley, yeah.
Get on, and then he would be like playing both sides. I don't know out of you or I who would win. I'm stronger than you.
Neither one
for
of
sure.
you would win. I'm saying who would make it like an hour.
I think I might make it further than you. I can climb more, I think, and I'm a little bit stronger than Rob.
Stronger upper body.
Yeah. So it's hard to say, but Rob's more manipulative and conniving than I am. So, so that's my number 3. Amazing sister. If you're planning on throwing your life on the line for your sister, that makes my list.
And that was the one you thought that we'd match up on?
Yeah.
No. I actually have some good movies.
The sister is only in like that relationship animates one scene out of a 2-hour movie.
But it was so good. I
agree.
It's one of the best scenes in that film.
Totally.
Absolutely. I agree. It's best scene, one of the best scenes. But yeah, other than that, I know nothing about their sister relationship.
I can see your point there.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
it's a very one-sided view of the relationship. Like,
but I knew why
nothing
she was
about
doing it the whole time.
Prim? I know nothing about Prim.
Primrose.
Yeah, I know nothing
Full name is
She
Primrose.
likes medicine.
Primrose Marie Everdeen.
See, there's apparently lots of things that we know about her if we read the books instead of watch the movie.
I made that middle name
Robert.
up. But I did read all of the books because they are for children. So go to your number 3.
So I will first say I had 2 films that felt like I could not have both of them if I was going for any kind of variety at all. And I hemmed and hawed, and it cut me to my bones to have to pick between these 2 very good depictions of sisterhood. The one I did not pick, sadly, was 2008's Rachel Getting Married. The one I did pick, which has a similar depiction of one sister is doing well, the other sister, who is our protagonist, is a wreck, and she's a wreck who both loves her sister but also deeply resents her sister for being so much better at life. This is a movie I'm sure neither one of you have seen, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners haven't seen it. This is one of those like, oh my God, you have to see it movies that I like push on people. This is 1995's Georgia, which stars Jennifer Jason Leigh as Sadie and Mare Winningham as her sister Georgia. So Georgia is a reasonably successful country and western singer. Sadie is her younger sister, who's like in a kind of punky bar band and who really, really craves the kind of life that Georgia has, craves Georgia's respect and like admiration. And like, that's kind of what animates this, is like, it's not just that she wants to be a music star. She wants her sister to like acknowledge, yes, you can do the same thing I do. And it's just this amazing depiction of these 2 characters and this very, very fraught relationship. 2 of the best performances of the 1990s. I mean, Jennifer Jason Leigh is like,
Have you seen
I'm
this?
like,
I've never seen it. Never heard of it.
People haven't.
Yeah.
Like the reason it's really on anybody's radar, Mare Winningham was nominated for the supporting actress Oscar. Totally deserved nomination. Jennifer Jason Leigh should have been nominated. Just such a sublime portrait of this give and take. Like it's a family relationship that's like, there's affection. You can tell there's affection, but Sadie is such a desperate fuck up that at the same time you can like see her ruining the relationship. And Georgia is kind of a smug ass as well. It's a really amazing, beautiful character study. That's all I'll really say about it, because, you know, there's not much to it really as a plot. It's really just watching this dynamic. But my God, the acting is like next level.
We've been watching a little Jennifer Jason Leigh in a show on Netflix called Atypical. That
Oh my gosh.
She stars in. So
Jennifer
did not
Jason
put
Leigh
those
is,
two
is
together.
legitimately one of my favorite performers.
Okay.
I love her.
Hateful
You might
Eight.
like Atypical. It's a TV show that's out on Netflix.
I didn't know it existed, but if it's got her in it, I'm interested.
Yeah.
You never have that kind of feelings towards your sister, a little
No,
resentfulness?
not once in my entire life.
No?
No.
Okay.
I've always been very happy for her.
Never looked up and
successes.
said, like, I want that, or I wish she didn't have it.
That
because-
4.0 looked nice.
That did, yeah.
Yeah, she had 4.0, you know.
You always told me your parents kind of made it like, hey, Carrie, that 2.5 is pretty.
I didn't have
like,
a 2.5.
They like took her 4.0 stuff off,
Yeah.
her 4.0 dick off, and they put your 2.5 right on the
I didn't have
right
a
on the fridge.
2.5. I graduated with a 3.6, I'll have you know,
But they would-
despite what you may
they would,
believe from being on this
They would
podcast.
elevate.
But they would elevate my B's
Right.
with her. Like, it was just,
They'd
they
pepper
didn't
the
care.
refrigerator with your stuff. Right.
I had other things.
Yeah.
I had other accomplishments. Yeah, no, I was always happy for her success.
Does your sister have a podcast?
No,
she?
that
'Cause
she
we
makes
should
a
have
fool
her
out of
as a
herself
guest.
regularly upon? No, she does not. She educates young minds in the high school English realm.
That's so much more impressive. Being both a podcaster and a teacher, teaching is way more rewarding. You feel like you're contributing a lot more to the world. Your sister sounds pretty great.
She is, yeah, and I'm very happy for her.
Yeah, no, man, your sister sounds like absolutely.
She might even be smarter than you, Tim.
I mean, she might be. She sounds like she's pretty great.
Yeah, she knows a lot of weird facts too.
right.
So I'm gonna compete. You guys can compete against each other.
Well, Tim's been bragging so far with his pick about having one Oscar nomination for one of his movies. Maybe
You have
two
some
of
more.
his movies had
We've got
one
some more
Oscar
over there.
nomination.
One of
right?
my movies had 2 Oscar wins.
Okay, then never mind. That beats this one. This movie, my number 3, has 2 Oscar noms. 1961 movie directed by David Swift, featuring twins who aren't actually twins in real life because they're actually played by the same actress, Haley Mills. I'm talking about the Parent Trap.
You went with the original, though.
The original, of course. 80% on Rotten Tomatoes, 7.1 on IMDb, 2 hours and 9 minutes. Teenage twin sisters swap places.
Are they teenage? I thought they were like little.
No, they're teens.
Oh.
It's like it's very much about like early
Okay.
60s teen culture.
Yeah. Going to camp, they go off to camp. They realize that they've been separated. I guess I've separated at birth. One parent took one, other parent took the other.
Always thought that was super weird.
Yeah,
I feel
we
like
still-
the
I still
legality of that is very much something that we should question.
Yeah.
And even when we saw the remake more recently, because Abby, our oldest daughter, Abby, who's 7, really enjoyed this movie. I didn't. Yeah, it didn't make sense then either. It's
Yeah.
like, how would this happen?
Yeah, how would you be like, I
Yeah.
just don't care about the 2nd
I'll
one.
take one
You
'cause,
look
you know-
similar, so what's the big deal? Just
But
take
then
one.
you know what I started thinking about is like we also take like pets from their parents too, and like separate them out too. It's just I started getting guilt about.
And I mean, I feel
getting
guilty about doing
pets.
that, so I cannot imagine doing it to a sapient being.
Right.
Did you say
Actually, I
Parent
guess
Trap yet?
Pets are
I said the
sapient,
Parent
sentient.
Trap.
Oh, you
yeah.
did? Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, classic. For me, first time I ever saw the split screen kind of, or I don't know how they did what they
Split
did.
screen?
It was a split screen kind of
They
acting.
cloned Haley Mills.
Was this the first, like one of the first movies to really show?
Oh no,
like, do
that's
something like
an
that?
old technology.
Really?
Really old.
I wouldn't know how to do that today.
Well, it's hard to do it well.
Okay. I thought it was done well in the movie.
It's
like,
done well.
Yeah. Because she had the long hair and the short hair.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very confusing. Like little things, little cues.
It was filmed over a long period of time.
One had an American accent and another an English accent. So very different.
Do you know which one of those accents is her birth accent?
I believe
English.
right?
Correct.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
good.
50-50 shot.
Yep.
We had audience members Kyle Fiorelli, Lindsay Rogenbach, and Constance Wozniak also had this on their list.
I do want to mention at the time that I made the, I think, very wonderful poster for this episode, I did not know that you liked this movie or had even seen it. So I feel
Is that what the poster was?
it was him as the Parent Trap.
Yes,
Nice.
I adore this movie, and I watched it a lot in after school and things. So
I thought it was
it's
White
just
Christmas, so that's great.
I actually thought it was White Christmas as well.
Why would it be White Christmas?
It's an unknown.
Why would you think it was White
Because
Christmas?
I thought it was kids. I thought Parent Trap was kids, and the image looked like teen adults.
They are teen adults.
I know.
They're singing a pop song. It's called "Let's Get Together."
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Very
See?
nice.
I
I'm
knew
surprised
that
not on your list, Care.
No. I've got other
Sisterhood.
ones. Got other ones that are better
Bring
on
the
the
parents
sisterhood
back.
front.
Okay.
And by that, I mean I'm looking for powerful, meaningful, and important relationships that you find in this 1999 film, 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Left it off my list, but you
Why
brought it
did
back.
you again?
It's not really about the sisters.
It's completely about the relationships
I
between
mean,
the
it's
sisters.
there.
Insofar as that is the thrust of the narrative conflict, then yes, it is about sisters.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is written by William Shakespeare, and
Let's interrogate that claim for a second.
I'm having deja vu. We've talked
10
about
Things I Hate
this
About You
before.
has been
It
on
is
the
based
podcast.
on a William Shakespeare play
Taming of the Shrew.
with some adjustments.
Only a few.
Only a few.
Only with the addition of Heath Ledger, Julia Stiles, Larissa Olnek. Is it Olnek that's in this?
I think Olnek is right. Yeah.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who we all adore. And this is based on The Taming of the Shrew. It's the high school story of a younger sister who wants to go out with this high school jock, but she's only allowed to go out with him if her socially unpopular older sister can go out with a guy too to the school dance. So it's that story of like the ruse to set up the nerdy older sister with the unpopular,
vaguely nihilistic outsider who nobody quite knows what to do with.
Exactly, but he's so cute, so it's not really that much of a problem in my mind. Love this movie.
There's a lot of.
I got to be honest, I love this movie too. I
do
feel
too.
like it's out of character for me to love this movie, but I do.
Oh, it's so good. I would think based on it being based on Taming the Shrew, it might
Lots
pull
of
you
things
in a
are
little
based
bit.
on Shakespeare that are not good.
Yeah.
This is
It's
one
like a
the good
lot
ones.
of like double, triple crossing going on because that sister's playing Joseph
Everyone's
Gordon-Levitt.
playing everybody.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt's playing everybody. Yeah, it's really a big one big multiple.
Yeah, but it's the
manipulation.
relationship between Julia Stiles and Larissa Olnek too that is a true depiction of sisterhood. It's this: I love you, but I can't stand you, but I want to help you,
But you just
but I
told
don't
us
want to help you.
sisterhood is all hunky dory, rainbows, butterflies.
No, I'm just saying most sisters, that's the case.
Just not you and your sister.
Just not mine. But this is such a good one, and that's why it made my number 2. I mean, this is good.
I feel like you did stuff to annoy your sister on purpose, though. And
might
you got
have.
pleasure. You gained pleasure.
I
out of
feel
that.
like we do need to get her sister to call in and like clarify whether this has just been one uninterrupted run of horse shit since Carrie started talking tonight.
I can't recall her name or information, so no, she does think I'm also annoying. But we love each other dearly. But that was my number 2. I think that is a good one.
All right. I agree. It's a good one.
Thanks. Not on your list, though.
I don't think of it as being a sister movie.
Oh, jeez. All right. What's your number 2 then?
So my number 2 is the only one of the films on my list that I think would fit within the spirit of your list.
It's my number 1.
I doubt you've seen it.
Okay.
Maybe you have. I'd
All
be
right.
very happy if you have.
You
It's
would
a
have known I've seen
1944
this.
film.
Yep.
Yep.
It's my number 1.
Is it?
No.
I didn't think so. So this is Meet Me in St. Louis.
You had this on something else. What else did you have this on there for?
I don't know. It's a great movie in many different ways.
Okay. So what's it about? The sisters.
So what this movie's about is in the year leading up to the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair, a family living in St. Louis at the time copes with growing up. There's 4 sisters, all of whom are like very pointedly different parts of their adolescent development, down from like an 8-year-old up to someone who's right about the age that she might be ready to go off and shack up with some boy. And indeed that
32.
18.
Okay.
Because it was 1904. And they weren't going to shack up. They were going to get married according to God's commandment.
You should.
But anyway, so it's about these 4 young women growing, kind of a Little Women-esque situation, only it's set in 1904, St. Louis. It's a musical directed by Vincente Minnelli. And although there are these 4 sisters, the 2 that people like care about and attend to are eldest sister Esther, who is played by Judy Garland, and youngest sister Tootie, who is played by Margaret O'Brien, who is one of the like iconic child actors of that generation of Hollywood. Margaret O'Brien, in fact, won the Juvenile Oscar for this film.
How old did you have to be to meet that requirement?
Under 18, if I recall correctly. Haley Mills actually also won a Juvenile Oscar, but not for The Parent Trap. She won it the year prior for Pollyanna. Anyway, so this film is all about like a lot of things, but it's mostly about Esther kind of growing to find boys very, very interesting indeed across the course of the year. And Tootie just being this bundle of energy who's super excited for the fair and isn't really able to cope with the fact that her family is going to like continue evolving around her, whether she wants it or not. And what happens, and spoiler alert for a wonderful but also 74-year-old movie, so I can't be bothered to not spoil it. The family is going to have to move, right? And Esther is going to stay with her paramour in St. Louis while the rest of the family moves to, is it Chicago or is it New York? I think it's New York.
Yeah.
And so this happens right before Christmas. It's very sad. And to comfort her sweet little childlike sister Tootie, Esther sings to her the tragic, wonderful ballad, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. This is the film from which the song was introduced. It is one of the all-time great tear-jerking scenes in cinema.
You look a little teary right now.
It's such a good scene. Because the song, if you've ever really sat down and listened to the lyrics of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, it's a sad fucking song.
Yeah.
It's not like an upbeat Christmas carol. It's like, we're not together, and that sucks a lot. Maybe we'll be together not this year. Like, that's the song. And so it's like Judy Garland singing to this little girl. They're both just like bawling throughout the entire song. And it's the whole movie is a good depiction of that relationship, but that scene is the reason it's on my list.
Say the title again.
Meet Me in St. Louis.
And the reason why you're thinking about it, Kara, is Tim did lend this movie to us as part of Top 5 musicals.
Oh, right. And you didn't watch it because you
not.
people are shit.
We took a vote.
We saw so many
the audience
musicals.
member.
You made us see Moulin Rouge.
I think I did not make you see Moulin Rouge.
I think you did.
I think that I would have suggested this over Moulin Rouge for the two of you.
I agree.
One of the great, it's an MGM musical, 1944, one of the
Meet
great
Me in St.
musical
Louis.
films.
We should see this.
We should check
You
it out.
should see
Maybe
it.
is it one to see over Christmas?
Well, there's a really great, so it's seasonal. So there's a spring sequence, a summer sequence, and so on. There's a really phenomenal Halloween sequence, so you could also watch it for Halloween.
All right.
Or you could watch it for summer, but summer's done.
We'll add it to our queue. We'll borrow it from Tim again.
Yeah.
In the meantime, my number 2, Kara, and I'm
two.
surprised it hasn't been on your list.
It's
so this
number 1.
Could be number 1 for you.
Don't say it. It's the best.
This is Two Sisters.
Yep.
Historical. Well, of course, it's Two Sisters.
Rob.
What?
Don't
You
take
could
my
have
number
triplets.
1.
Yeah. You could have 3.
Could be triplets, right, Tim? Yeah, little inside joke there. Join the first female professional baseball league.
Of course, it's my number 1.
It is your number 1.
I thought so long and hard whether I had room for this one, and like I said, I had
you
9.
did.
I had 9. I couldn't do it.
You did have room for this one.
This captures to me all of the aspects of sisterhood. I'm talking about 1992's A League of Their Own, directed by Penny Marshall, who brought us Big Awakenings and Jumpin' Jack Flash.
Well, that's a mean thing to say.
I like Jumping Jack Flash.
Well, that's a stupid thing to say.
Starring Tom Hanks, but more importantly, Gina Davis and Laura Petty as sisters.
Don't forget Madonna.
Madonna's in
Rosie
here as well.
O'Donnell.
Neither of them are sisters.
Megan
but
Kavanaugh.
To the characters.
The relationship of the sisters Gina Davis and Laura Petty start off as sweet, and like a big sister Gina Davis looking out for Laura Petty. Gina doesn't even want to join this baseball thing, but Laura Petty does.
Yep.
So she chases her sister.
Lori
Petty, excuse me. She follows her sister on this adventure and does it kind of unwillingly, even though she's really truly the baseball star.
Yeah, turns out that she's a much better player than
Much
her
better
more
Gina
advanced
Davis
sister.
is. Dottie is.
Dottie, and then the movie slowly evolves into that, because what Tim had pointed out earlier is just that aspect of a sibling relationship where you start building a little bit of resentment that the older sister is better, and how do you cope with that?
And I will say, this was also kind of the Georgia spot, which is how I made myself feel okay with not including this on my list.
Okay, all right. And I love this movie. It's funny. I was brought to tears by the end of this movie, and it deals with the sister relationship really well. But Carrie, I know it's your number 1, so if you have, what are the things that you enjoyed about this movie?
I just think this is the ultimate sister sacrifice. I mean, I would literally, I'd jump in front of a bus for my sister, but I'm not
What
sure.
What cut of A League of Your Own have you seen?
That's the unrated
There's
version.
not a bus scene.
But
Jesus.
I'm not sure that I'm even at the level with my sister that I'd let her beat me at a game. Like, this is my sister and I too. Like, my sister, I am very competitive, and my sister is not. Like, she's the Gina Davis here, like the stoic, respectable.
Your sister definitely sounds like the better of you two. Like, every word you've said is like, I need to meet this
There's
sister.
not actually
Would she throw a game, though?
She'd throw a game for me, for
you
sure.
to
Yeah.
give you the satisfaction.
She wouldn't have to,
Yeah.
but because I would be better. But like, if she needed to throw a game, she would. And so I'm totally the kid in this, the up and like excited and ready to try
I was
something new.
10 years old when I saw this movie, and I remember it being the first time where there are other movies that I also recognized, like some issues where I was like, well, that's not very fair. Like, but this
Like
is
what?
the first, like more like social issues where I was at 10, I was very aware of this movie being like, that doesn't seem fair. Like,
But like what?
Well, that the women were brought in to cover for the men during World War II, and then like as soon as the men came back from war, like, all right, well, that was like a fun little gimmick that we had, and then like they lost their ability to play baseball, and like I remember being like, even at 10, I remember being like, well, that's not very fair.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I remember that being like a really poignant thing that I felt at the time. So
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
I love this movie.
Interestingly enough, much like the fun fact I had from last week about Buzz Aldrin, my cousin just so you know.
Is Gina Davis.
How cool would that be? No, but my cousin Shelby Plunkett was a Rockford Peach,
Okay.
Oh.
right?
All right.
I mean, I'm not saying right like
Your
you would
cousin
know.
with at least a couple removed in there, I take it.
Yeah, no, she's much older than I am. So it's my, I can do this. It's my great aunt's daughter.
Okay. I can't do that. So we'll assume
No,
that's
like great great aunt. So it's my great
There's
grandma's.
a term for that.
My great grandma's sister's daughter.
Well, and that was the thing too.
Your
is that
great-grandma's niece.
We're in the Midwest,
Yes.
obviously. This league that formed was very
Rockford,
much
Illinois.
was very much a Midwest league centered around the Madison,
Yeah,
northern
love this
Illinois
movie.
areas, kind of the kind of thing. Rockford, as you mentioned.
If you somehow missed this movie,
Kenosha.
Kenosha, Wisconsin, don't you know? A League of Their Own is a movie to see.
It is a movie. You view it with your eyes.
Audience member Cannon Crook also had it a League of Their Own on their
Thanks,
list.
Cannon.
So you're out.
I'm out. You're
All right.
down to one.
What do you got left, Tim?
Well, before I do this, like I've been saying a lot, I've had 9 films. I love all of them. I'm just going to name the other 2. So the 4 that didn't make it, I already named Rachel Getting Married. I've just now said A League of Their Own. The other 2 that I couldn't make room for were Sisters, 1973, really great thriller by Brian De Palma, and Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, classic story of sibling rivalry plus like freakish horror melodrama, really delightful film, Bette Davis and Joan Crawford. As for my number 1, I'm sure this is your number 1 as well, Rob.
Is it?
No way.
It is a 1972 Swedish art film.
Okay, sure.
Subtitled.
Oh, yeah. It's Swedish. So for some of you, I've already given you enough clues to know what I'm talking about, but I am referring to Ingmar Bergman's 1972 Cries and Whispers. One of my favorite films favorite's the wrong word. One of the best films ever made for when you want to feel like everything in the whole world is very bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that feeling.
It's my favorite feeling. So here's the film. Agnes, played by Harriet Andersson, who is a wonderful actress who's been in many, many films by Ingmar Bergman. She's dying of cancer. So her sisters, Karin, played by Ingrid Thulin, and Maria, played by Liv Ullmann, both of whom are
Why do you
also...
get this weird accent whenever you
because
do
I'm
Swedish
trying
films?
to like Liv Ullmann.
Okay.
Ingrid Thulin and Liv Ullmann play the other sisters. Also very, very familiar faces from Bergman's films. These sisters all hate each other very much, but they've done a very good job of hiding that fact for their entire adult lives. And now that Agnes is dying, they're going to stop hiding it. And that's basically
Why
the
is
plot.
that the time to let somebody know?
Because there's just too much emotionally pent up, fraught energy. So yeah. So it's a movie about watching 3 people who hate each other wait for one of the 3 of them to die.
So they let
which
her
she
know
does
before
about
she
midway
dies.
through the film.
And she knows that they
And
hate
then they
her.
get even angrier after she dies.
Yeah, you're really selling me.
It is a masterpiece of feeling the depths to which the human soul can sink.
Mm-hmm.
Ingrid has made your list on a number of things. One of your favorites?
Ingmar Bergman is...
Ingmar?
Ingmar is a director. Ingrid is an actress.
Okay.
They are in no way, shape, or form related, although they have worked together on the film Autumn Sonata, which I believe did make one of our lists.
Yes. Well, not ours,
Well,
but yours.
One of our
Yeah.
collective. If you'd seen it, it would have made your list. This is a masterpiece. It's a full stop masterpiece. Amazing, amazing film. Harrowing, gorgeous performances by the 3 above mentioned women, as well as Kari Silvan, who plays the maid Anna, who is the only person who is in any way sympathetic in this film.
And it's called Three
Cries
Ladies and
and
the Dying Girl.
Whispers.
Okay.
Famously, the movie where I think it's Ingrid Thulin, one of the sisters who isn't dying of cancer. They all have flashbacks to the various horrible things that have happened in their lives. And there's a wonderful scene where one of the sisters remembers the time that she mutilated her genitalia with a broken wine glass rather than have sex with her husband.
Please never watch this movie.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody actively avoid this movie.
Great movie. Art. Art with a capital A-R-T.
Number 1
Cries
pick.
and Whispers.
Terrific.
And so it's about, of course, the more toxic side of sisterly relationships.
Wow,
Yes,
this is
yeah.
going to be
The
very...
unspoken
Less
hatreds,
familiar, yeah.
feuding. This is this. If your sister were talking to us about you, I think this is the film.
But how she might feel. Yeah, we'll have her phone in for the
This
next
is
one.
troubling because I don't really know what to do from here with my number one because it couldn't be further on the opposite end of the spectrum.
God hope so.
I don't know how people forgot about this. Didn't see it anywhere on the audience
Where?
list. Didn't see it when I was doing my
fine.
research for top sister movies or things like that. This is a movie that is about sisterhood and one that
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
No.
That's not about sisterhood.
And that
That's about
does a great
Oh.
job showing kids that there is more to. There are different types of love. That there is not just romantic love. There is sister love.
I think that's very true of Cries and Whispers.
Yeah, you think so?
There
seems
is
so
not
good.
romantic
From
love.
that genitalia piece there.
Yeah, no genital mutilation in this particular movie, but what you do
Whatever.
have is beautiful songs that I
Gosh,
enjoy,
what is this?
particularly
Oh.
sung by Kristen Bell and Idina
Oh.
Menzel. I'm talking about
Oh.
2013's
For
Frozen.
real?
Yeah,
All right.
It's my
This
favorite
isn't
movie
good.
about sisterhood.
No.
All right. Showcasing the fact again that it's the first movie where I was thrown by the ending. I did not see.
You did not.
I don't think I did because I have been guided in a particular way for Disney movies to go a certain way. I would have. I guess yes, in my mind I probably was like maybe that makes sense, but
I thought about this. This is one of my least favorite Disney movies.
Oh, I couldn't possibly go there, but I think
least
it is.
One of them.
I think it is cluttered and stiff in ways that prohibit me from entirely engaging with that relationship specifically.
90% on the Rotten Tomatoes, Tim.
I'm one of that 90.
Yeah.
I gave it a positive review.
Newly crowned Queen Elsa accidentally uses her power to turn things into ice, curses her sister, and only the power of true love can break that spell. And yeah, they
And you
have
know what's the truest love of all?
yeah. What's that?
The love between that guy and his reindeer.
That's true.
I totally.
I agree.
But number 2 is the love of two sisters.
Kristoff and
I enjoy this
Sven.
movie. I saw this for the first time by myself when Abby was young. I saw it in theaters for a work related function. I don't know why that happened. And I've seen it in multiple viewings. The songs still all are stuck in my head.
Would you sing Let It Go for us, Rob?
That's actually not my favorite.
Would you
Reindeers are better than people.
Of course that's your favorite. Jesus balls.
Abby used to laugh when I'd sing that.
She
song.
did. It was very cute.
Sven, why don't you say that?
That's it for me.
Do you
Yeah,
wanna
this was
build
my
a
favorite.
snowman?
Not on anybody's list.
No.
You would have thought that on someone's list, Frozen would exist. It is a sister movie.
No.
Sure.
Is
No,
it not? Does it-
I would have thought that given its presence in our culture, I think people are burned out on it. I think people
think
got
so, too.
frozen out, especially people
Frozen
with children.
fever,
got
yeah.
frozen out.
Frozen Fever.
Well, either way, every week we ask you to share your picks and thoughts for a chance to win a free Amazon movie rental based on the results. Here are your top 5 picks, none of which are Frozen. Tied at number 5, we have Hannah and Her Sisters, Tim. Well done. A movie, and then tied with that, a movie that I thought would have been on your list, The Virgin Suicides.
I don't love it.
Oh, really?
It's actually my least favorite Sofia Coppola feature.
Least favorite Coppola. Okay.
Which isn't to say that it wouldn't have made the list because none of the others are about sisters, but
Number 4, Standing Alone, Cries and Whispers. This is very much a
Didn't you have
Tim
that?
audience.
Was that the genitalia
That was
one?
his
That's
number
the
one.
genitalia one.
Yeah.
Yes.
it's not. I mean, that's only one scene. It's
Sure.
a memorable scene
Seems
for
important.
reasons that I think
Yeah.
you can.
Seems
That's the thing.
important.
It's actually kind of not
I
important.
feel like I need
It's
all
just
of my
very vivid.
genitalia. Yeah.
One, you need all of it?
I think
Just
you do.
all of them?
All of
Multiple?
those.
You have your
Genitalia. Yeah.
hermaphrodite.
Okay, keep going, keep going.
Anyway, we have 2 at tied for number 3, and this is another animated feature. So you have to tell me if you like this better for representation of sisterhood or
right.
mine, as in Frozen. This is Lilo and Stitch made the list.
Oh, Lilo and Stitch is better.
Is Lilo a girl?
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, but
The,
Stitch
the dog or whatever.
The dog
that
is Stitch.
Stitch,
The
but then
alien
there's the
creature is Stitch.
older sister.
Lilo is the younger sister, and I think Nani is the older sister.
Oh,
Really delightful film.
Okay,
about
so you'd
sisterhood
put that
above
sisterhood
Frozen for
above
sure.
Frozen. Okay, interesting.
I will confess it completely slipped my mind, but would not have made my top 5. But no, I'm totally on board with it.
Okay. Also had Sense and Sensibility tied it at number 3 there.
I felt like I couldn't count anything that is already an iconic version of the thing it is in literature.
Got it. And then we had The Parent Trap, finally.
All right.
Finally. So far, Carrie, nothing.
I don't feel good.
To be fair,
I know a league of their
I
own.
think I'm actually surprised by that. now
I
that you
am
say
too.
that. I do think I primed people to be thinking about The Parent Trap with my wonderful, wonderful poster.
That's true. I appreciate that, Tim, so that I could make the list. And at number 1, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane? Just missed your list, Tim.
I might go so far as to say that was actually number 9 of 9, but
Okay.
it's a great film.
I have not seen it, so it was surprising for me to see.
You should see
I-
it. It's
Okay.
delightful. It's a hoot. It's so good.
And then our audience winner this week is Gretchen Quillen, who wrote in with In Her Shoes. little Cameron Diaz.
I haven't seen
and
that movie in
can't-
ages.
Can't remember who the sister was.
Oh.
But yeah, kind of
Yeah.
like, it's very much like how you describe Georgia.
Yeah,
a
no,
little
it's
bit.
very much in the spirit of that.
Gretchen, shoot us an email at contact@alterending.com for details on how to claim your free Amazon movie rental. If you want to win a free Amazon movie rental like Gretchen, be on the lookout for a spoiler alert or top 5 movie posts on Facebook and Twitter to share your favorite picks. In closing, I want to thank everybody for listening. Go out to our Facebook page and like it. Check us out on Twitter. We're tweeting all the time. alternatending.com. We'll find our movie reviews, podcasts, and more. I could say now we've had some subscribers join our YouTube channel. Appreciate that. We did the big push to start getting people there right in front of us posting some videos. So we had a couple people sign up for that. Be sure to go out to our YouTube channel, subscribe.
A couple dozen.
Couple dozen. That's what I mean.
Okay.
I mean, it's very new.
Of course.
It's very new. And delete all that old stuff.
Yes.
That's weird.
And be sure, well, actually, our top 5 sex scenes.
I'm
still
sure, but it's
getting
all
lots
probably
of
like
hits.
robots.
Yeah, it's people who are
weirdos.
I'll
just
bet that's a very
Googling sex.
Googleable.
Yeah.
I bet people watch about 3 seconds and are super bummed out.
It's like, when are they going to get naked?
Yeah, right.
And then be sure to subscribe to our podcast on iTunes or Google and leave a review. Carrot, any new reviews since the last
We
episode?
do, and they're really funny ones that you guys. I know you guys don't read these or until I read them to you, and so
Well, that's because I want my on-air.
I know
impressions
your
to be
on-air
fresh and new.
reaction. So this one comes to us from Go Bears 1983, who is from the USA, and Go Bear says it's funny and insightful. It's the title. And then this podcast is lots of fun and makes me want to see more movies than just those currently in theaters. I also really enjoy how much Tim Burton swears in a way where you can tell he
Thank you
just
very
can't
fucking
help
much.
himself. No, that's really why I'm here. I really only like listening to you swear as well, so I feel like Go Bears and I have a
I feel
bunch
like
in
I
common.
didn't swear too much today.
No, today was really light, and so I'm not actually interested in coming back next week.
I did go on some tangent about
Genitalia?
the genitalia.
That's not a swear, though.
Also incest.
Incest, yeah,
so
that was
I was
weird.
bringing the NC-17
yeah.
content.
Yeah, you were thinking about cutting that out, but I think we'll probably leave it in because that just shows your true colors. But the other one that I have is a feel-good podcast for the ages, brought to you by Obi Rob Kenobi. Is this you, Rob?
Rob,
It is not.
you can't do that.
No.
It's unethical.
I set up a new account.
No. So this comes from Obi Rob Kenobi. I don't think it's actually Rob because it's really funny in what they said.
then no.
Yeah, you'll see. So this could be a podcast about the history and culture of beans on the Iberian Peninsula, and I'd still listen every week. The true draw.
That's commitment.
I know. Do you know anything about Iberian beans?
Not about Iberian beans, no.
What beans do you know about?
Well, there's that famous story about coffee beans, but that wasn't on Iberia. That was somewhere in North Africa.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. We'll research a
This
little.
guy
and
saw
come
his
back.
goats like going fuck nuts. And
There's
it's
also
because
like
they
the
were
ones
eating
that
beans.
eat the coffee beans, the monkeys that eat them, and they're very expensive because they poop them out, and then
Right,
they
right.
produce the coffee
The monkey poop
beans.
beans.
Yeah, the monkey poop beans. The true draw of this podcast is the incredible chemistry of the 3 hosts, mostly Carrie, which they didn't actually say that, but the dynamic naturally created by their differing personalities and taste is truly captivating. Both of those are so sweet and nice.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
And it means a lot to us to get those, so appreciate it.
Well, coming out next week is A Star is Born, which is getting a tremendous amount of buzz. We're excited for that movie. And in honor of that movie, we're going to be looking at our top 5 performances by singers. We will catch you then.